Girls are manipulative, girls are liars, girls are deceptive, and all of that. These are the words that some boys say, but on today's edition of the School of Life, I'm going to tell you how to find out if a guy is genuine or he's a player. My name is Rafa Godlove. You're welcome to join us on the School of Life. It's a program where I try to teach life lessons in an easy way that everybody can understand. And the intention for the program is to help you make informed decisions and to help you become a better person in life. Today's edition, we're talking about how to find out if a guy is just a player. The first thing to find out about a guy who is a player is that he's smooth. Everything he says is smooth. Everything he says is the right things. Have you ever met a guy for the first time? The way he comes up to you, his pick-up lines, everything he says, he just knows the right things to say. He's too smooth. You're like, man, this guy has swag. He's a player. He's not a serious person. The reason why this particular guy knows the right things to say and the right everything to say is because he's used to saying it. He has done a lot of rehearsals, so you are another rehearsal for him. He's used to saying it. He's used to, flowing with different kinds of women. The flow is always very smooth. He knows the right thing to say at the right time. He knows how to get under your skin at the right time. He's too smooth to be a good guy. You would notice for people who will be honest with me, you'd notice that if a guy is an honest guy, sometimes when he walks up to you and he's trying to make conversation with you and trying to just chat you up and, he's confused most of the times. He does not say the right words. Sometimes he's nervous. He stumbles on words. He doesn't know what to say. Do you understand? He's an honest guy. It's not his hobby to be chatting girls up and down. That guys that they meet you for the friends, they're like, babes, how are you? They say a lot of sweet nothings. That's smooth. They're too nice. Their words are polished. He's experienced. He's experienced because he does it all the time. He has rehearsed enough. Okay? The next way to know a guy that is a player is the fact that he doesn't spend quality time with you. It's not like he doesn't call you in the morning or in the afternoon or evening to check up on you and how do you sleep and things like that. But one-on-one time, he does not. The only time he wants you around is when he wants sex. And so the only time he's around is that sometimes those kind of guys, they check up on you only towards evening, like, could you come over to my place? I really miss you. And they'll call you in the morning to check up on you. It's like they bait you. And the only time you get to see them is when sex is involved. And if you tell them, well, I can come over, but we could just talk, or you come over to my place, let's talk, and let's not have sex, but let's just talk and talk. They don't come, they look for an excuse. So the only time that you really get to see them is when sex is involved. And this becomes even tricky because when you spend one-on-one time with somebody, you get to know who they really are. If you hang around me for like 2-3 hours, talking, nothing sexual, but just talking about the things I like and the things I don't like, you figure out easily that I'm a very impatient person. I might look like I'm nice, but I'm very impatient. If you want to tell me something, tell me fast. Go to the crux of the matter. Don't be beating around the bush, because the only thing that's going through my mind is, where is this coming from and where is this going to? So I like direct conversations and things like that. So it's easy to know me if you hang around me long enough. Okay? You know people's real characters if you hang around them, and these guys don't give you an opportunity. The only time they hang around you face to face and so that you get to know them is only when they're touching and feeling on you. He's a player. He's not a serious guy. Okay? The next way to know when a guy is a player is that he never introduces you to people that are valuable in his life. He doesn't. He doesn't introduce you to his group of friends. He doesn't introduce you to his mother. He doesn't introduce you to anybody. The reason why he does not do this is because friends are friends. And in every clique of friends, there's always one Rafa. Rafa is that kind of friend where he just comes and he will just run his mouth and say things that he was not supposed to say and say inappropriate things. Okay, I'm the kind of friend that will be like, oh, Masa, now you chap this. What about that other one? He's afraid that friends might say something that might betray him in front of you. They might say something or say something that is suggestive and that can reveal to you and give you hints about who he really is. And so he does not want you around his friends. Okay, and he does not want to be around your friends either. That's the next thing. He does not want to be around your friends. He does not want to be known. So you and him, your relationship is that kind of dark night relationship. Is secret. Oh, let's keep it between us. Between us for what? At some point, we need to know, like my best friend, I need to know who are important in your life and how close you are to certain family members and friends and things like that. If it's a serious relationship, he doesn't want to know your friends. Because someday they're going to see him somewhere else with another girl and they're going to catch him red-handed and they're going to call you on phone and say, is it not your guy in this restaurant? Is it not your guy in this? These are the kind of things I can do. I'm telling you the truth. I can see if a girlfriend's boyfriend somewhere and I'm going to just tell the bike man to just follow that bike, follow this taxi. I'm going the same direction with them. I'm the kind of person that can do that. Just to find out where they're headed to. I might sit in a restaurant and eat. I might, without planning, because I want to find out scoop, juice. I need something to talk about. I'm that kind of friend. I'm a friend that watches my friends back. I'm a very good friend. So that's the situation. They don't want to know your friends because they're scared that there must be a Rafa among that was going to expose them. So that's another thing. And then the next thing is that they don't like public display of affection. Now, I'm the kind of person that does not like PDA too. Public display of affection, just hugging and touching and rubbing on each other in public. I don't like that bird. It's difficult to be in a relationship with somebody and you guys are in a group, say in a social gathering or something, and people don't figure out that that must be his girlfriend or that must be his significant other. You know, it's something that you need to, it's obvious. You see it and you know it without anybody telling you. You do not want it. Outside in public, he treats you like his sister or his friend or some far relationship. He tells you, baby, leave it. We don't want no public display, nothing. Married women have understood it now because they sew clothes and they sew shirts for their husband. So they buy like 6 yards of fabric and they sew something for themselves and then they sew a shirt for their husband. So that when you go out with him, if you see, let me give you a strong secret. If you see a man with wrapper fabric, okay, you cannot judge from me now because I sew clothes and I wear a lot of African fabric and wax and stuff. But when you see an African man, especially a Cameroonian man that looks like a man that can be of marriage age, if you see him with wax fabric, know that he has a wife or a significant other. Because it's only women that sew wax fabric for men. Men will never. It's difficult to see a man walks and buys wax fabric and enters into a shop and says, I want to sew a shirt. It's his girlfriend or his wife that did that for him. Okay, so if you start seeing a man wearing wax fabric, run away from him. He has a significant other and he's telling you a lie. So we're talking about public display of affection. This guy treats you like a stranger in public, but he loves you so much in private. He's playing you. Okay? The next thing to know that a guy is just fake is that he guards his phone. And they always turn their phone upside down so that you don't see pop-up notifications on WhatsApp and things like that, girls writing them. Their phones are always on silence when they're around you and they turn it upside down because they don't want you to see nothing that is popping up on their screen. It's just like it's like the game of a smooth player. They just turn their phones upside down and you ask them, babes, well, no, there's nothing. And they guard their phone. The phone has a lock to open the main phone, to enter into their gallery. It has a lock. I met a friend like that before. I met this friend and I'm like, let me see something in your phone. And it has a lock. To get into the gallery, it has a lock. To get everywhere has a lock. I'm like, what is in this phone? What is in this phone? So that's a guy that is playing you. He turns his phone upside down. He protects his phone and things like that. But he does not mind checking on yours. Oh, baby. Let me just see. He's monitoring your life and doesn't want you to monitor him. The last thing to know that a guy is a smooth player is that sex with him is good. He's not a serious guy. The guys that are not genuine and guys that are just players and that they play with girls' emotion, sexual activity with them is like heaven on earth. It's perfect. He knows the right things to do. And how did he know all of these things? Now having sex like a porn star. Because he's experienced, because he's used to rehearsing all of that. He's used to sleeping around. And that's why you have girls though get into relationships that are just abusive. He doesn't respect you. He cheats on you. He does all of these things. And you're like, I just love him. You don't love him. Just be honest and say the sex is good. But would you allow yourself now to be in this kind of trap and roller coaster relationship when nothing good is coming out from it because the sex is good? At the end of the day, everybody can develop their sexual life and learn more things, but people's core moral values don't really change, or at least they don't change as fast as you think that they would change. I'll change him. I've had people tell me things like, oh, it's just love. We can't really explain, but it's just love. It's not love. Just say the sex is good. And I'm becoming a sex addict. You need to snap out of it and, organize yourself. There are more valuable things in life than sexual activity. Okay? And you need to be careful with these kind of people that date multiple partners and they just play you around and everything. Because that's where sexual infections come from. Okay? So, all of that said, my list is not exhaustive. There might be other signs that I might not know, I might not have spoken about, but these that I've mentioned, I think are able to kind of like guide you. Once somebody's too smooth with the way they speak and they don't really spend quality time and they don't really care to know your friends and they don't even want to know you to also know their own friends and they don't really show affection or anything in public and they guard their phone and then sex with them is just like heaven on earth. It's a red flag. It's a red light. It's something that should be warning you. There's something wrong here. There's something wrong here. And we need to open up our eyes and not make decisions, just blind decisions. And I love him, I love him, I love him. So those are the signs. Those are the signs. If I know that you're watching this, you're just like, oh, he talks so small. Yeah, check. Check. Suspect him. I'm giving you permission. Suspect him. There's something just suspicious about all of that. So, all of that said, my intention is not to break relationships. My intention is to be an eye opener, is to be able to share things with you that you'll be like, okay, just to help you become wiser so that people don't abuse you more than they've already abused you. So, that's the intention for this. If your relationship is going to break because of this, my hand is not there. My hand is actually clean. I am just there to show you the way so that you kind of like figure out what is wrong and what is right, and you kind of don't be played for a fool. Because I value women. There are people who hold humanity, they bear for children, and they are very valuable human beings that are not supposed to be taken for granted. They have very nice hearts and emotions that are not supposed to be abused or used or misused. My name is Rafa Godlove. I hope that you've learned something. I'm called Rafa across all social media handles. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.